What is up, guys? This is ZekkouKyo and welcome to the lecture 10 of CSS 103 Fundamental of Network. Today I'm going to break the knowledge that y'all have about routing, and we're also going to teach you all how to do basic firewall in wide area network. So, as what you all already know, we need a static routing to route one router from another, but today I'm going to teach you how to do routing without doing the routing part. Alright, as you can see, we're going to have one router, 2911 router, and we're going to have three different subnets connected to that router. This only will work. Remember, this only will work if you do not need to route this router to another router. So if you only have three subnets, one router is enough, and you do not need to do any static routing, nor you will need to do any router to router configuration. So what you need to do, you have a switch. I name this switch 0. Name a switch. Name it switch 1, and add a switch. Name it switch 2. So you have three network right here. Your switch 0, you're going to name it as 192.168.0.0 network. And your switch 1, you're going to put it as 172.192.0.0. Switch 2 as 10.10.0. That is your different subnet for your switches. Alright? So, your computer, you're going to have a PC 0, 192.168.0.2. Right? To make you confuse less, the first available address in the switch or in the network, in the subnet, should be for the router. And for this one, PC1 equal to 172.192.0.2. Alright? Let's ignore this for a second and we deal with the first two. So, switch is a 0 and router over there. So, router FE1, the first one, to 0. So, we can rename this switch as to router FE0 192.168.0.1, and the router name FE0 192.168.0.1. Go to the router, go to the config, gigabit internet 00, turn it on. 192.168.0.1. Make sure the subnet mask is correct and close it. And connect this fast Ethernet 0 to the fast Ethernet over here. And in the PC, desktop IP configuration 192.168.0.2. The subnet mask as follow. And the default gateway, which is the address of 192.168.0.1. And that should be your configuration from the computer to the router. At this point, you can always click this to ping from the computer to the router, and it should be successful, right? Since this to this is successful, now we're thinking about this to this. Alright, what should we do? Over here, when you click this, fast Ethernet 1, Gigabit Ethernet 1. So you type over here FE01 172.192.0.1. Okay, over here as well FE1 172.192.0.1. So you know. Alright, okay, let's just delete that real quick. 1 1. Right? So you know 1 to 1. Over here 1 Gigabit Ethernet 1. Turn it on. 172.192.0.1 with your subnet mask 255.0. Remember, your subnet mask need to be correct because the subnet mask, if you use 198, 192 or 19 something compared to 17 something compared to 10, it will automatically change for you. So you need to know if your subnet is correct or not. That depends on how you do your subnetting, my guys. Okay? So for now, we have that subnet mask, that IP address, and that's it for the router part of the configuration. Router part. Close it. For your PC, you click the connection of fast Ethernet 0 to whatever connection there is. Okay, all you have to worry about is double click desktop IP configuration. You are in the network of 172.192.0.1. Dot 1 is for your router, aka your default gateway. For the PC over here, you just put it dot 2, right? Because dot 1 is for default gateway, dot 3 maybe other computer, dot 4 maybe other computer. This PC is dot 2. Applies the same thing if you're trying to do wireless access. The subnet mask of here, you need to change it because the 255.255.0.0 is a default, but it is not a correct subnet mask for your network. And what is the default gateway? The default gateway is, of course, your 172.192.0.1. Because why? It is over here. Now you close that, and then you close this, and then you click this, click this, click this, and it is now successful. This only works because you do not have to route a router to another router. If your network only have 3 different networks, then connecting them together, giving them the default gateway address, giving the router their address, they can route with each other. Okay? The reason why I teach you all how to do static routing in the previous lab is to make sure y'all know what to do when you need to route one router to different router and different router. If you have more than 3 or 4, 5 or 6 router, then you need to do the static route. For example, the router over here 2911 have 3 port, which means that you can have 3 different local area network as one wide area network without any static routing configuration. So if you want to have more than 3 local area network as a wide area network, you need to do the static routing configuration or RIP or any kind of route configuration that you want to communicate one router to another router. In this case, you have one router, 3 LAN. It works, right? So let's get back into the thing. Alright, over here, you already can see that you can ping this to that as successful, right? So this is where the software level firewall come in. What if you do not want PC1 to communicate with PC0? You double click to PC1, go to firewall setting, software level firewall, and you want to deny packet from PC0. Deny protocol of ICMP, which is ping, TCP UDP, which is your HTML and whatever protocol it is. You can change that. You can experiment with that next time. But for ping is ICMP. You're denying the packet from the network 192.168.0.0. The whole 192.168.0.0, you're denying everything from that. And what is this? Remote wildcard mask. So the subnet mask for that IP addresses now is supposedly 255.255.255.0, right? So anything from .0, .1, .0.2, .0.3, .0.4 will not be able to enter your network. However, that is not how remote wildcard masks work. If you add it right now, it will say the subnet mask address is invalid. Wildcard mask is basically the opposite of your subnet mask. If your subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, your wildcard mask will be 0.0.0.255, meaning everything in that 255 inside that subnet mask will get rejected. If your subnet mask is 255.255.0.0, your wildcard mask will be 0.0.255.255. It's literal opposite. So let's get back into it. Right now, let's start 0.0.0.255. Right? We are blocking anything sent by the network to our network. Just add. We have it right there. Don't forget to turn it on. Close it. And then let's try it again. Ping 192.168.0.2. And it will not work. Right? How about this? From this PC, ping it. Ping 172.192.0.2. It will not work because we block the ping using firewall. Alright, let's turn it off again. One more time. Turn it off and try again. Now it works. That is software level firewall to you. Works, right? It's kind of wild for you to know that you can do the routing from different subnet by using one router, but don't worry about that. That is only if you have certain amount of subnets in your network. When your router do the work for you without you having to route it using static or RIP. Same thing apply to this one, where you can have your computer, where you can have a connection between this and this gigabit Ethernet 2. So over here, you say FE2 router 10.10.10.1. Okay. FE2 router 10.10.10.1. Turn it on. As you can see, the subnet mask is automatically set 255.0.0.0 because that is what 10.10.10 is. 255.255.0. This, connect it over here. connect over here, and inside the FE, I'm gonna change it to FE4, no, FE3. All right. Desktop IP configuration 10.10.10.2. Subnet mask, change it correctly. And default gateway of 10.10.10.1. If you do not have any firewall over here, okay, I turn it off, then this one should be communicate successfully with this one. There you go. Let's try again. Ping 72.192.0.2, and that's about it. If you turn on the firewall, it will not be able to communicate. Even if do your routing successfully and you turn on the firewall, it will not be able to communicate. Remember, before you do any restriction with firewall, right? Before you do any restriction with the firewall, remember, every single device need to be communicate with each other first before you restrict any communication. So that's about it. Thank you for joining for today's lectures, and we continue with our next part of the lecture, Virtual Private Network, VPN. Leave a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you next time. Bye.